Sup YouTube? It's been a while. I haven't really used this account for anything other than watching videos for the last, say, 5, 6 years or so. I think the last video that I uploaded, the only video I uploaded, was a really crap Mick Thompson tribute, which was meant to have sound and it was really rubbish. So I'm going to do something a little bit different, like hopefully a lot better than that today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a review of a EP and a band. And if you're sort of expecting something along the lines of Slipknot or nu metal or anything like that, you are going to be sadly disappointed. Because in the 6 years since I released that video where I was an absolutely die-hard, massive Slipknot fan, I've kind of gotten into heavier forms of metal. I got into thrash. Through that I got into death metal. And finally I've reached a point where the music that I love most, first and foremost, is black metal. So a lot of this is going to be about black metal. Today, so the band. This is a band that if you live in the north of England, this band will probably have crossed your radar at some point. You will have probably seen reviews. You might have even seen my review of the band's EP. They're a band called Slaughterthrone. This is their logo. They are from West Yorkshire, the same area as me. They're from Leeds and Halifax. I believe that's where all the members are stretched out of. And it's absolutely and they are an absolutely fantastic black and death metal band. They take a lot of influence from bands like Watain, Behemoth, and Belphegor. So they mix all that they all mix that together and they produce something fantastic from it, as I'll illustrate later. So I'm going to give a quick overview of the history of the band, how they formed, and then, I don't know, do a review of the EP and give you links to all the stuff so you can check them out. Well, they began in the most metal of places in the UK. Well, one of the most metal places in the UK, probably apart from Damnation. Bloodstock Open Air 2013, where the vocalist, a guy called Adam Langton, and the lead guitarist, the future lead guitarist, was a guy called Andy Horry, met and decided to start writing music. After this point, they got their second guitarist, a guy called Liam Lowther, from the most bizarre and random places to get a black metal guitarist. They got him from Adam met him at work in a call centre, and it turned out they were both massive black metal fans. So I don't think that's it's a strange enough place to find out about black metal and get into bands, but I don't think it's the weirdest, because I've had a similar situation where I worked in a bank in Bradford for a while, and one of my colleagues, who I talked to vaguely, she was into black metal and death metal, and she gave me, I believe it was her mate or her boyfriend's EP for a band called Sheol, and that band Sheol obviously changed their name to Sacramel, and you probably, if you're in the north again, you'll have probably heard that name. But anyway, I'm digressing. After they had both the guitarist and the vocalist ready, they got a guy called Brant Hall in to play bass, and I have to say he's a pretty good bassist. And then they got the final piece of the puzzle. They'd had an original issue with, they'd had a drummer, but he left, and they got another guy in called Stephen Wilkinson. And Stephen is again a brilliant drummer. He was in a band called Tyrant, who the band had been around watching live for a while, and they managed to get him in eventually. I think he ended up leaving Tyrant, but I'm not entirely sure. So then they began working on their first EP, this absolute masterpiece called Wrath of an Ancient Darkness. And this is really, if I was going to describe it in any way, it's just no frills, black and death metal. It's brilliant. It's absolutely fantastic. It's 4 songs, just under 20 minutes. Pure fucking Armageddon. It's brilliant. And after they released that in July of this year, 2014, and began touring it, and that's where I met them for about 2 or 3 weeks after this album was released. I bought this t-shirt and this EP there at the gig, and they are absolutely lovely guys, and they blew everyone off stage. They were brilliant. I'm not saying a lot because Valifar were there as well. Valifar were fantastic, but they weren't quite as good as Slaughter. Sorry, guys. And yeah, at this point, that EP has been going around, doing the rounds, getting a lot of really good reviews. In fact, I gave it a very good review. I write for a website. I'll put the link in the description at some point so you can go check it out and check out the page. Pardon me. So, Slaughter, yeah. They are, as far as I'm aware, in terms of the future, they're doing a few things. They are releasing a new album in the future, but I don't know how far off, so I don't want to be saying any dates. They debuted a new track a couple of weeks ago, just before Damnation. They debuted that at a gig, and I've heard it went down quite well, so I'm assuming it's not going to be too long, and I've been told by Adam and Andy that it is going to be about 10 times better than this EP, which, if that's true, it's going to be brilliant. And also they are going to be on a Darkthrone tribute that's coming out soon, called Night in Norway, and they're doing a cover of Crossing the Triangle Flames, so keep an eye out for that. That's going to be pretty good. Yeah, and definitely check out the band. I'm going to leave in the description. I'm going to leave links for their Facebook, for their Bandcamp stuff, Reverb Nation, all that good shit. And if you like them, definitely support them. Come out and see them, because I'm pretty sure this band, you're not going to be able to see them in pubs for much longer. They're going to be playing much bigger places within a couple of years. And anyway, if you thought this was alright, or if you happen to think it was complete shit, really please, by all means, check out my written work at metaltemple.com. I write reviews there. I've interviewed a lot of bands. I've interviewed people I've interviewed Chris Boltendale from Gravedigger, Sideman from 3049, a lot of really great musicians. And we do a lot of reviews on black and death metal. And I think hopefully you'll check it out. So even if you think it's shit, if you think there's anything I could improve, so long as it's constructive criticism, please leave a comment and all that sort of stuff. Peace.